Red and blue lights carved through the sleepy Arizona dawn like a bad punchline nobody saw coming. There she stood in my driveway at 7:12 on a Saturday, Lydia Voss, HOA president, self-crowned queen of Sagebrush Hollow, clipboard raised like a sword, voice slicing the quiet desert air. "Officer, that man's spy machine is recording our children. It's an invasion." I stepped onto the porch still in yesterday's t-shirt, coffee mug warm in my hand, and gave her the calmest nod in the West. "Morning, Lydia." Neighborhood patrol starting before the sprinklers even wake up. She spun so fast her pearl necklace caught the sunrise. "Don't you dare smirk, Ethan Brooks. Your ridiculous pool cover flagged me the second I stepped near the fence. Illegal surveillance. It's endangering the entire community." The older cop rubbed his temple like this was the third HOA drama of the week. "Ma'am, you were on private property?" "I was conducting a routine safety check," she snapped, chin high. "As president, I don't need permission to protect standards." I raised an eyebrow, tapped my phone, and mirrored the screen to the porch TV. Crystal clear thermal footage rolled. Lydia Voss at 6:37 a.m., designer flats crunching across my gravel, clipboard poking at my brand new AquaGuard AI pool cover like it owed her money. The overlay pulsed in white. Unauthorized entry detected. Subject, Lydia V. HOA badge LV001. Heat signature confirmed. The younger officer actually whistled. "That's pretty airtight." Lydia's perfectly Botoxed face did something unnatural. "This is harassment. A machine cannot accuse a community leader." "Funny," I said softly, sipping my coffee, "because the system only watches inside my fence line, the same boundary your bylaws say I'm allowed to secure. You know, for the children." 2 weeks earlier I'd come home from a late client call to find wet little footprints circling the pool and a half-submerged soccer ball under the old tarp. One more second, and some neighbor kid might have been a headline. That night I ordered the AquaGuard, smart silver panels that sealed like a vault, AI that tracked motion, temperature, and intrusions without ever leaving my property. Peace of mind in the desert heat. I never meant to start a war. I just wanted to sleep without nightmares. But in Sagebrush Hollow, where every lawn was manicured to exactly 3 inches and every mailbox the exact shade of approved beige, any hint of individuality was treated like treason. Lydia spotted the cover during her Monday inspection rounds and froze like she'd seen a rattlesnake wearing glitter. "Mr. Brooks," she purred, smile sharp enough to cut glass, "anything that alters the visual harmony must be board approved. We can't have rogue technology disrupting community standards." "Visual harmony?" I gestured at the identical stucco boxes marching into the cactus horizon. "Lydia, it's a safety cover. Keeps kids out, keeps debris out. Manufacturer says it meets every county code." She tapped her clipboard like it was scripture. "We'll need to review whether this device constitutes unauthorized surveillance. For privacy, of course." The woman who once fined Mrs. Alvarez $250 for excessive wind chimes was now preaching privacy. The violation notice slid under my door 2 days later, gold embossed and dripping politeness. Unauthorized installation threatening aesthetic integrity and data harmony. I answered with a 10-page PDF, certifications, state safety endorsements, even the section of her own bylaws that praised technological enhancements for resident protection. Sent at 9:03 a.m. No emotion, just facts. Bureaucrats hate facts. Then the freeze-out began. Greg next door suddenly found his mailbox fascinating whenever I walked by. The Tuesday yoga group moved their mats 20 feet farther from my fence. By Thursday the group chat was flooded with concerned neighbors, worried my cover was secretly filming backyard barbecues. Lydia never named me. She didn't have to. Fear spreads faster than desert wind when the queen fans it. The real fun started at 11:47 p.m. 3 nights later. My phone chimed softly. High-confidence intrusion. Thermal feed lit up. Lydia Voss and 2 board members slipping through my side gate like thieves in pastel. Flashlight beam dancing across the control panel. Her whisper carried clear on the audio. "We need proof this thing is illegal." "It's not wrong, it's enforcement." Her manicured fingers pried at the edge, time-stamped, geotagged, badge ID captured. The AI didn't argue. It simply logged. Physical tampering detected. I saved every frame, backed it up to the cloud, and went back to sleep smiling for the first time in weeks. Next morning she showed up with the full board for an urgent transparency inspection. No notice, of course. I blocked the doorway, phone already recording. Section 4.1 of the covenants you wrote yourself requires 48-hour written notice for any property entry, President Voss. Or do the rules only apply when they're convenient? Her smile cracked at the edges. You're turning this into hostility, Ethan. No, Lydia. I'm turning it into a record. Same way you turn gossip into policy. She called the cops again that afternoon, voice trembling with righteous fury over the phone. He's using predatory surveillance on our families. Think of the children. Same 2 officers arrived. This time I didn't wait. I invited them in, fired up the big screen, and let the compilation play. Every unauthorized visit, every whispered enforcement, every time she touched what wasn't hers. When the final clip froze on her face mid-tamper, the older cop turned to her slowly. Ma'am, that's you. On his property. At night. Without consent. Lydia sputtered. I was protecting the community. From a pool cover? The younger officer asked, fighting a grin. That was when the county investigator's sedan rolled up, tipped off by an anonymous board member who'd finally had enough of her special projects fund. Turns out the same woman screaming about privacy had secretly pushed for neighborhood-wide cameras she alone would control. And the fines she collected for visual violations? Straight into a personal account labeled Wellness Gazebo Restoration, a fancy backyard spa nobody else ever saw. The investigator laid the printed emails on the clubhouse table in front of every neighbor she'd ever bullied. Lydia stood there, pearls suddenly too tight, while the man who once feared her clipboard now stared at the ground. Rules are rules, Ms. Voss, I said quietly from the back. You just forgot they apply to the Queen too. 3 months later, Sagebrush Hollow looked almost the same, lawns still green, mailboxes still beige, but the air felt different. Laughter spilled over fences again. Kids chased balls right up to my gate, and the AquaGuard simply blinked a friendly, all clear. The new board voted to scrap the ridiculous aesthetic fines and made every financial record public. Lydia's Wellness Gazebo became the community pickleball court instead. Last I heard, she'd relocated to a quieter HOA up north. Her new association already cited her for non-compliant garden gnomes. Funny thing about intelligence, artificial or otherwise, it doesn't care who's in charge. It just remembers. So tell me, true or false, was the guy who installed a safety cover to protect kids the real power abuser, or was it the woman who broke every rule she weaponized against everyone else? Drop your answer below. Who really got hit by the karma they ordered?